God, you're father now.
Okay, so what we're getting ready to do is change out the knock sensor again. So it'll be kind of like, I guess it'd be like part 2, but we're gonna use the GM. Hold on. So we're gonna use the GM parts for knock sensor. You know, I'm big on part numbers because they help you with everything. So this is the GM part for the knock sensor. You know, 12, 5, 8, 9, 8, 6, 7, and they got a 2-year warranty on it, and they like $80 for each one of these knock sensors. Now, I have a lifetime. I don't know why this bag is smaller than that one, but you can tell the same part number. They the same parts. There's that part number right there for Jimmy behind that with that sticker. Anyway, I have a limited lifetime warranty on the knock sensors that's already in here. They the Duralast knock sensor. Now what I'm gonna do this time is I'm gonna torque the knock sensor to 15 pounds, which I got a torque converter wrench, and I'll explain that too in the video, because a lot of people don't really know how to use a torque, which I just had to learn over the week. So a little simple mathematics and understanding the specs of it and the sequence which to how to do it. You can torque. Now I'm not about to go through a whole video of how to change out the knock sensor, take the intake off, because I already got a video on that. You go to my previous video and I show you what all sockets, tools and stuff you need, but it's just some things I'm gonna go over there I didn't mention in the very first time I did, and I was hesitant I was gonna do the video. Always be careful with all your vac lines, like these small vac lines all around, because they can be, if they the original part, they can be very brim and old and easy to break. So you just want to make sure you take care of that. What else? Oh, when you have to take the fill line off, what you see right here, which I in the other video, what I didn't know, it had a fuel reduce lines on the side. It's right here. I don't know if you can see it real good, man. Y'all got it be right here. I don't know if it's zoomed, the camera ain't zoomed in. So you screw this knob off and you release the little gas that come out the line, the pressurized release, tongue twist. Release on the stem the pressure. It releasing all the pressure out the gas line, so therefore you don't have a whole lot dripping. So you can do it from right here. I didn't know that the first time, and I also want to check to see what I have loose on the back side that I didn't do the first time I taking things off, like my ground wires. Ground wires are very important because it can have a lot to do with any electrical issues on your vehicle. Lights, cluster, dash, what comes on, how it works efficiently. So, and that's something else that behind it that's loose. I just need to check. So like I said, I'm not trying to show you how to take off. Yeah, y'all gotta excuse me, work with me. I be doing this in real time. I'm ready to go and get to it before, man, the sun come out. So I'm out here early in the morning. Anyway, just make sure everything you take off the way you put it back in. Be cautious what you take off, especially when it comes to your vac lines, because they can be old and brim. Any of your hoses, because trying to get the replacement of the hoses and not knowing the proper terminology of them can also be a problem when trying to explain what type of hose, and you just be saying, I know it's one of the hoses, and the people at the parts store, they don't be always knowing. They be looking up online. Boy, you have to look at the specs on that. But that's no ahead there. So I'm about to get into it. This is the second time changing out the nonsense. I showed you already the part number for that. Now, anytime you change out one knock sensor, go ahead and change out the other one. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of other ways that you can test to see the knock sensors work. I probably put a video in the description. If somebody else explain that better than I can. But you really ain't gotta do all that. But go with I'm gonna see that work, the knock sensor GM parts. And I don't suggest going with the GM wire harness knock sensor, because it's like you have to cut in. You have to cut in to the original connector or whatever one you use, and it don't come with no rubber, it don't come with no connector. It just the tip part of it that goes on the knock sensor, and it comes with kind of like a wire bud, like when you clamp, know what I'm saying, together. It's just best going to get another wire sensor harness and just use that. So, cause I got a lifetime on I got a limited lifetime on that part too. So what I gotta do is take these knock sensors off, take that, know what I'm saying, wire harness off, take it back to the parts store, so therefore they can give me another one, cause you just want to replace doing the knock sensors, everything new. And what else it is? I'm trying to think what else it is. I'm forgetting to mention in here. Yeah, so we gonna see these GM parts work different than the other knock sensors, because taking the whole intake off, it can be tedious. So it's just like, you ready, know what I'm saying, do it right the first time. So we're gonna torque it down. I'm gonna show that in the video. And we're gonna use the GM, you know what I'm saying, I probably don't repeat it, just trying to think in live time, man, what all I'm missing, because I know some of this stuff be important, man. Sometimes people that who do these tutorial videos don't be mentioning. And like I say, always get a book, that GM book that I told you for your vehicle. Boy, it helps a lot. So, oh yeah, and then there's another way, like I was saying before, it gotta also, when torquing down the intake, it's a certain sequel. You go from left, right, middle, and I'll put that in the video that explain that if you want to do that. But 9 times out of 10, everything has a spec, a torque spec, but you can, like when it comes to like smaller boats, knock sensors and all that, you really can just snug tight it. It don't have to be over tight, but you just want to snug tight. You don't want nothing to be too loose. You don't want nothing to be too tight. Too tight, you can strip threads. You don't want to break none in a block. I mean, I did another video about an extraction, about breaking a temp sensor and it's just a lot of problems you just don't be wanting. I'm already 7 minutes in this video. Let me go ahead and get to it. But I just want to make sure I'm covering it. Like some stuff you can just snug tight. You ain't got to over tighten it, man. Like, you know, like once you got them all tightened down and you go back up, then if you've been doing it long enough, you'll pretty much understand what I'm saying. Just like by just snug tight, you ain't got overly tight. Just like when you do your oil plug. But let me go and get into the video. You get a chance, these factory clamps, depending on the angle and all the stuff you gotta take off, we got the intake off, and it kind of whooped my butt. And you see all these connectors. Like one of them is the, I can't think of it right now. But this socket here is a 22 socket on the knock sensor. You see the knock sensor. The one we got to take out, we got a limited lifetime warranty on the Duralast. And back to these factory clamps. Replace these with these clamps. The screw in. Always angle in the position where you can get your flathead or get a socket on the, just make it easy. Cause that stuff be whooping my butt, man, messing with these, and there's so much you gotta take off. So, I go back on that line. Right there. Something gotta figure out how to go back. I'm gonna get this out, go to the parts store, get it. Shit, the sun don't came out now, boy. Beat me down, boy. Y'all stay locked in with me. You know, I know sometimes when I be trying to explain stuff, especially when I'm doing live, I ain't got my mind together. I just trying to go and get it done and want to explain it at the same time, because I know some of these small things be mattering. So we gonna get it. Okay, so I got this torque wrench, and as you can see, got the adjustments. Now usually when you work these here, you want to start it all the way to 0, and then you got neutron meters, and you got pounds. So I'm gonna put that on pound. Yes, that's what it is. So for pounds with the line, it'd be 10 right right here. And then for 15, you do 5.0. You put that in the center with the 10, and it equals up to 15 pounds. So we're gonna torque it to 15. But when you're doing this, you wanna always turn it all the way to 0, especially when you're not in using it, and as far as when you get ready to use it. Now you got the feet per pounds, foot, and then you got NM, neutral meter, neutron. We'll come back to that. Give a better explanation of this. Okay, so as you see right here with foot pounds, I got it at 0 turned that way. And as you see right here, foot per pound, 10, you adjust it all the way to the going this way. You'll put on the 10 number. Hold on, let me just show you the specs. Here are the specs. Simple instruction. Mine's got 160 feet of torque pressure. You see how you got the line? Where center line, main, grade, graduation, line, subgrade. Okay, pros and cons. I know I'm gonna put up a diagram of showing you the sequence of torquing down the 4 bolts to the intake. The manufacturer say the first passive in sequence which direction to go in at 44 pounds, and then second sequence go around again 89 pounds. I just tell you, when it comes to these little bolts, cause these are the intake bolts. Right where you see my finger pointing at, man, just snug tight them as much as you can with your hand all the way down. You can do the sequence based on a new valve cover, intake cover. When you put the intake covers, because you know that new rubber, that's the reason why you'll go in each sequence. But I just broke a bolt, man, messing with that 44 pounds, and it never clicked. I just kind of thought that was funny, man. Like, see, I broke that bolt in the motor. Hopefully, man, it don't cause an intake leak, cause that can be an intake leak when you ain't getting air. And then when these specs be for a reason, but anything small bolts, sensors, man, just snug tight as much as you can. This is my second time breaking. Broken in that other video you see me do with the Saturn Ion, when I had to use the extractor. But you had to take this whole intake off, and then, you know what I'm saying, see if you can just extract, you know what I'm saying, that bolt, probably drill in and screw out. Now on the metaphor, which you probably can't see right here, right where my finger at, these bolts will get hot and the span and the bolts will bust. So I didn't do that one. That one's like that. At some point I need to get no metaphors changed out and put a gasket, because that can cause an intake too. These are metaphors. Your exhaust metaphor. Yeah, your exhaust metaphor is what you see on the side of the motor. They come with gasket too. Can also cause air leaks. We got, you know what I'm saying, the intake back on, put the cover back on, put the intake airline hose back up from here to here. I didn't bring my tripod out, but I should have. Damn, I hate I broke that doggone bolt, man. Boy. Just hand tight on these small bolts.